Abhishek, we have a question from Sharda Chakraborty. I think you should address it right now. It's something you would really like. She says, I have sent a question that I want to be a career counselor like you. Okay, I think Abhishek will address it once he's there.
Okay, hi Sharda. Good to hear that somebody wants to become a career counselor in a country as huge as 1.4 billion. We need, as on date, about 17.5 lakh career counselors to reach out to. We'll still not be able to reach out to each and everyone. So it's a great thing to see that you want to be a career counselor. I don't understand why would you like to be a career counselor like me, but how do I answer this? Okay, start by learning a little bit of psychology. I don't know which class are you in, but start by learning a little bit of psychology. It will definitely help. One course on Coursera, which is called Introduction to Psychology. It's an amazing course by Yale. It just costs you a couple of $1,000. My son, he's in grade 7. He has already completed it. So I'm very sure even if you are in grade 10 or 11, you should be able to absorb it well. Start from there. Once you do that, then you start. So career counseling is about two different things which have to run simultaneously. One is understanding about teenage psychology. That's very important. And the other is understanding about the education systems of the world. How do they work, right? So while you finish one course on psychology and you build your interest in psychology, the other thing that you should definitely look at doing is start researching the websites of various universities across the globe, okay? And pick, one country at a time. So don't spread yourself too thin. Because if you, let's say, pick Canada, then most of the universities will show you a very similar requirement. So every time you hop onto another website, your previous learning will just get reiterated. And that's very important. And third, start counseling your own friends, because it's very important that you start enjoying the process of becoming a career coach, right? Lastly, please understand that people will not get to know how intelligent you are or how good a career coach you are till the time you are there on the stage, there on the webinar, and you're talking well. So it's all about packaging, right? People will only come to know about your intelligence once they have experienced you. But you would want people to come and experience you first. You would want them to pay for you. So you really need to get a hang of communication, presentation skills, make yourself confident. Over a period of time, in next few years, you'll realize that you will become a much better career coach than Abhishek Gupta. So I think I tried to answer and give you my 15 years of experience in about 5 minutes. 142 in the Zoom room. Good morning, everybody. Once again, this is Abhishek Gupta talking to all of you. And I have a phenomenal panel today. I have Anju Dioskar, a great friend, a very good friend from Flame University. I have Anjali Anand Seth, another superhuman being and a very good friend from Huron at Western Canada. And I have Veer Anand, one gem of a person, and another good friend of mine from University of St. Andrews, Scotland. So we will have a phenomenal discussion with all three of them. And today, for a change, I will not be talking. They will be talking and they will be answering. So give me all those difficult questions that you can so that I can put these three people on their back foot and try and keep on giving them bouncers. So let's see, how do they bat?
Abhishek, could you make me the co-host, please? Thank you.
Okay, since we are still a couple of minutes away from getting started, let me crack a joke for you, all right? Because it's very important that you remain awake. So let me crack a good joke. Which one should I crack? I have chunk loads of them. Okay, so there was this boy, and it's because it's morning time and it's Sunday and you are there. Half of you must be still in your night dresses, not taken a shower. So this one is for you. So it was a morning day, maybe a winter morning, and Tommy was sleeping. Okay. And Tommy was sleeping, and all of a sudden mommy came. And mommy came and said, Tommy, come on, get up. You got to go to school. Mama, I really do not want to. Tommy, about time. Get up. You got to go to school. Mama, I don't want to. Tommy, get up. You got to go to school. Mama, give me one good reason why should I go to school. Mommy says, son, I'll give you 2 reasons instead of 1. Number 1, you're 40 years old. And number 2, you're the principal of the school. So if you like it in the chat and if you understand it, you can possibly give me a thumbs up. You can give me a smiley. You can give me a tongue out. It's okay. I don't get bothered. Give me anything. But the fact of the matter is that even principals, panelists, career coaches like me and panelists like Anjali, Anju and Veer Anand, even we hate to come to webinars early morning, and we have no problem in accepting it. So if you have to come and attend a session, I sincerely empathize with you. Okay, 224 and counting. We will still keep on waiting. Usually the number picks up almost within 10 minutes of the starting time. So let's see. 11:30 on the dot, we already have 230. So it should slowly climb up to about 500. That's my expectation, 400 to 500. Let's see. On the Facebook, you are already live in about 31 cities. And currently it is about 1,800. Sagar, what's the total? 1,800?
It went up to 1,900 as we speak.
Okay. So 1,900 across 4 Facebook pages, 1 Facebook group.
Well, it's a Sunday and it's after the Independence Day, so I think we can discount people a little bit on that.
Absolutely. Okay, and Sagar, what is the reward that you have for the most intelligent question being asked today?
The person who asks the best question today will be given a Google Home Mini from us.
Oh my God. Okay, so
rest assured, just like yesterday, I think we can expect our Q&A to be flooded with 200 plus questions.
Right.
So panelists, I hope you're ready.
Okay, so where is the chat? All right, guys. Do we have representation from Shiv Nader? Do you see, Shelly, do you see my slide? There are only 3 logos. And if it's somebody from Shiv Nader, I would request you can get in touch with us later. Okay, good morning once again. It's about time we get started. Almost 300 in the Zoom room and slowly climbing. And we are just 3 minutes into our scheduled starting time. For one more time, support me by giving me a big A in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a big A in the chat box. Capital A. Show me your appreciation. Show me your appreciation for high school moms, for Anjali Anand, A for Anjali Anand, A for Anju Dioskar. Give me a big V right now. V for Veer Anand, V for victory. Give me a big V because that's the only way. That's the only way, ladies and gentlemen, you are being heard by these people. So let your chat resonate with their heart. Let them hear from their heart, not from their ears. Give me a big YY. Give me a big YY. I want to see a big YY in the caps. Let the chat get flooded with big YY so that these people know that this is no another webinar, but this is high school moms. Give me a big YY. Awesome. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Okay. So once again, a formal good morning. And my name is Abhishek Gupta. Most of you keep on meeting me from time to time. My request to you is that during the course of this presentation, we already have about 340 in the Zoom room and slowly counting. During the course of this presentation and this webinar and the talk and the question and answers, please try and maintain the decorum of the room. Please avoid any unnecessary chat if the chat window is open. We will try and take our own precaution. My request to all other attendees is the moment you see a spoil sport, the moment you see anybody trying to spoil the decorum, it's time to bully him and throw him out of the room. So you will be allowed to bully that person as long as that person is spoiling the decorum of the room. Okay, who do we have tonight? We will start from my screen, bottom right. We will start with Anjali Anand Seth. Anjali is representing Huron at Western from Canada. Anjali is an international recruitment specialist and she has a big resume. Okay, so you have to pardon me for utilizing these papers and then saying it. Hey, Anjali, who the hell, goes to 3 universities? I mean, you make life so difficult for people like me. It's okay. So she is an international recruitment specialist of Huron at Western University, situated and based out of London, Ontario, Canada. She is responsible for recruitment, admissions, business development for the university in India. Anjali completed her undergraduate degree in political science honors from Lady Shri Ram College. And Anjali, you know it why I hate Lady Shri Ram. Master's degree from Hindu College at Delhi University. She completed an MPhil degree from JNU, New Delhi in international relations. Anjali holds a Bachelor's of Education degree and a PG diploma in journalism and communication. Kuch aur bhi chhod dete yaar. As an academician, as an educator, Anjali, this is going to be a very informal chat. Please understand this is high school, mom, so you got to bear with me. Okay? Okay, so she has over 2 decades of phenomenal experience, ladies and gentlemen. Her brief association with India Didactics Association and ETS TOEFL enhanced her career in both academia and corporate. She utilized her skill to help educators reimagine, re-envision education and improve the student-teacher learning space. Currently, she's also an active member of ICAC, International Association for College Admission and Counseling, and is also associated with organizations like Indo-Canadian Business Chamber and Shastri Indo-Canadian Institute, working extensively in the field of Canadian education. And I'm proud to say that she is also associated with High School Moms and International Alliance of Counselors and Educators. We have been trying to chase Anjali for a few months now, requesting her to take out time to come here. Please understand, ladies and gentlemen, Huron at Western is one of the finest you can go to in Canada. And it wasn't easy for us to bring Anjali Anand Seth to speak to all of you, and only because she understands why it is important for all the mothers to be empowered. She's right here talking to all of you and to your kids, and she's going to answer a lot of difficult questions for you. Keep on putting them in the Q&A. Now I have Veer Anand. Veer, how are you? You joined in late. Why did you join in late?
It might have something to do with your joke or my Wi-Fi, so it's one of the two.
I like that. I like that thinking on the feed. Okay. Veer is the director for University of St. Andrews in India and currently sits on the board of advisors for the Great British MAC, GB-MAC. Veer completed his IB diploma from the Shri Ram School in Delhi. Shri Ram? Like, wow. Before graduating from University of St. Andrews. Welcome, Veer. Thank you so very much for accepting to be here. St. Andrews, one of the oldest universities in Scotland, or possibly the oldest in Scotland. It wasn't easy again for me to bring Veer to you. So ladies and gentlemen, one more time in the chat box, almost 400 upward in the Zoom room, in the chat box, please give me a V for Veer and V for victory. Now I have Anjali Dioskar. You have already seen her a couple of times on High School Moms, a very, very dear friend of mine, somebody I cannot live without talking, if I don't talk to her on everyday basis. All right. Anju has been in the education domain for past 16 years. She has worked with various reputed IB schools of India, having a thorough understanding of various curriculum, both Indian and international. She has headed outreach for various schools and currently is heading the outreach for undergraduate admissions of one of the finest liberal education universities in the country, Flame University, Pune. Super awesome, guys. Thank you so very much for taking our time and speaking to thousands of mothers. Just for your understanding, 435 in the Zoom room. about 2,300 on the Facebook listening to you. And with that, let me start with Anjali in the same order. Anjali, I would want you to take 5 minutes, and this is for everybody who is attending and listening. Today, the agenda and the format will be a little different. We will ask each one of them to give their perspective on their university before we start pouncing them with questions. So Anjali, welcome so much to High School Moms. Thank you so very much once again for taking out time. Please tell me a little bit about Huron at Western, whatever you want to say.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek, and for inviting me. And I'm very happy to be here today. It's a pleasure to join the rest of the panelists on this very important topic on liberal arts education. I think there is less knowledge about the subject, so I'm happy to put in whatever I've learned over the past so many years. About Huron University, of course, extensive introduction was given. Thank you again for that. So I'm the international recruitment specialist for Huron for South Asia. My primary region is India, of course. A bit about Huron University. Established in 1863, Huron is the founding institution of Western University, which is one of the top 10 universities of Canada. So Huron provides a university experience which is completely unique to postgrad institutions in Canada. What we offer is an elite yet very accessible undergraduate education that combines liberal arts with business, while prioritizing ethical leadership and community engagement as much as academic achievement and career success. Professors of our university provide students with one-on-one mentorship through intentionally small classes. So our student to faculty ratio is 13:1. As well, all our programs include at an undergraduate level, very advanced research opportunities, experiential learning, paid internships that we offer to every single student in every single program, plus voluntary and international exchange programs that are available to all the Huron students. Majority of the Huron alumni hold leadership roles, including those in Canada and the world's most distinguished organizations, not just in business, but in law, government, technology, and even more. Our IB Business School has been ranked as Canada's #1 business school by Bloomberg, and we are the only university in Ontario to have partnership with Harvard Business School, as we inspire all our students to become leaders with heart. Without really saying too much, I'd like to share a virtual tour video that we have of Huron. Sagar, if you could please play that video.
Sagar, can I have the video, please?
Huron and want to learn more? Let's take a look around, because you've definitely never seen it like this. Welcome to Huron. Let's get you all moved into residence. Don't worry about lifting those boxes. We've got you covered. You have a team of upper year students called SOFs who volunteer as orientation leaders to get you all settled into residence. And if you flew here from outside of Canada, you didn't worry about getting to campus either, because we picked you up from the airport. Yeah, you get that here. Nice, you got a single room. Most rooms at Huron are like this. And we have some of the biggest residence rooms in Canada. But don't kick your feet up just yet, because it's time for orientation week. Western has the #1 biggest orientation week in the country, and Huron students take part in all the fun. Huron students are also Western students, which means clubs, varsity athletics, and campus amenities at Western are shared. At Huron, you always get the best of both worlds, but the Huron Advantage is exclusive to you. That was awesome, but now it's time for class. But you never go it alone. At Huron, our culture of care is a huge part of what makes your academic success our priority. At Huron, each and every student receives individualized academic advising, career development advising, learning services, health and wellness support, and international support. Oh, hi, Vanessa. And at Huron, you're never just a student number. We always know you by name. Huron, your average class size is a mere 30 students. That's small. There's no hiding in the back or showing up late. You are an integral part of the lesson and the class discussion. And at Huron, your professor will know you by name straight away. And that's why Huron students receive personalized reference letters, academic mentorship, and support from their profs. It pays to be noticed. Hey, do you have a pen? But it doesn't just happen here. It happens here. Wait, not here. Here, where you'll turn those classroom discussions with your professors into practical application and watch them come to life. The Center for Undergraduate Research Learning is just one of the ways Huron does this for its students. You could also find yourself in a psych lab, in a real business consultation, and in an unforgettable international experience. At Huron, we know it's not just about what you know, but also who you know. That's why our students begin networking with our alumni before they even graduate. We have 9,000 currently connected alumni living in 59 countries worldwide. 2/3 of Huron graduates hold senior level positions in their company. Want to grab coffee with a business owner? Have a Skype interview with an executive director? We're certain we have a graduate working in your desired field who will be happy to mentor you. So, if a personalized approach to an elite education is what you're looking for, then Huron is the place for you.
I can't wait to have you join the Huron community.
Welcome to Huron. Merhaba bikum fi Huron.
Huron में आपका स्वागत है.
Добро дошли на Huron.
Kazik bir Huron.
Huron hoş geldin.
欢迎来到修伦。
欢迎来到 Huron. Huron में आपका स्वागत है.
Forward to Huron.
Wow, thank you. Sagar, if you can just stop the screen share, please. Super awesome. I think there were some people who were complaining about the about the voice breaking, Sagar. So if you can send me the link, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who missed out and could not hear it, send me the link, Sagar. This can even go into the email, and I'll definitely try at the end of the session to play the video again so that you can at least listen to it again. It's just a 4-minute video. We are sure we can definitely find time. So Sagar, you can send me the link on WhatsApp and I'll definitely use it. All right. Thank you so much, Anjali. That was a wonderful introduction to Huron. We're over to you. A 5-minute pitch about St. Andrews, Scotland.
Yeah, great. No, thank you, Abhishek. I think there was a slight lag in the video, so maybe we do want to, Anjali, share it again at some point. But coming to St. Andrews, so St. Andrews is one of the oldest universities in the world, as Abhishek mentioned. So I was just hearing about Huron being founded, maybe 400 years back. We were founded in 1413, so we're over 600 years old, and the oldest in the United Kingdom after Oxford and Cambridge. So, with that comes a lot of history, a lot of tradition. But why I'm actually here today is to give you the Scottish perspective. So everyone thinks of England as being the United Kingdom, and that's not true. And I'm here to bust some of those myths today in a way. Scotland follows a 4-year system, which is liberal-like. So I think it's important to understand the difference between a liberal arts program. So that's not what we have, but we have a liberal education, which means the flexibility, the breadth of education, the ability to look at different problems from different viewpoints, to change your mind if that's what's required. So I'm here to give you that perspective. We're not liberal arts per se, but we're liberal and flexible in the degree approach. We still have our specializations as well. So what I am going to do is I'm going to share my screen just so that you get a little bit of a visual representation of. Abhishek, just give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen.
Yes.
Perfect. So just so you guys get a little bit of an idea of where we are in St. Andrews. So we're in the northern bit of the United Kingdom, very close to Edinburgh, and about a 5-hour train journey from London. So that's just to give you, perspective in terms of where we're located. Of course, very well connected from Edinburgh to other cities in the world, including Amsterdam, Paris, Madrid, and so on. So very well connected. This is the main slide I wanted to show you. So this is the town of St. Andrews. It's important that you get a visual, sense of what things look like. So it's a small medieval town. It's only about 20,000 people, and more than 10,000 are associated with the university. So, it's a campus-like environment. It's not a city, but what that means is when you actually walk through the town, you see 1 in 2 people that you see on the streets will be associated with the university in some form or the other. And that's a unique experience in itself. To be able to just think, okay, what do I want to do? I want to have a coffee. Everything is a 20-minute walk. So you can just walk over to a friend's house, grab them, take them for coffee. That's just how easy things are. So the town and university grew up together in a sense. And so you've got the university buildings that are scattered through the town. The white square you see on screen is our library, and then you've got the top left corner, we've got the science buildings. They do a lot of experimentation. It's better they stay away from us. And then, we've got the other buildings scattered through the town as well. And of course, for those who love sport, with a home of golf, this is where golf was discovered. So we've got about, 6 different golf courses, including the old course.
I'm sorry to cut you short, but people come to study there or take a vacation there, yeah, for 4 years?
I mean, we've got, the honest answer is we're one of the biggest tourist destinations. So it's beautiful in that sense. But, you're right. I'm here. That was Abhishek's subtle way of telling me get to the academics. That's what we're here for. So I'll do that. But, if I have to sum up St. Andrews, and I'm a student, I have been a student at St. Andrews myself, and that too for the bachelor's degree. So very much part of the flexible system. So one is, of course, it's the reputation of the university, how global it is, but it's the flexible degree structure, like I said, which is unique to Scotland and to us rather than, the English system that we all know is a 3-year system like India. But it's also because of the size of the town, it's very safe and welcoming. This is a slide more for the parents here. I don't like to talk about it for the students, but I guess it is important when you are talking about investing time and money into foreign education. It's something that is naturally something that you look at. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and just take 2 minutes to talk about some of the aspects that, Anjali mentioned as well. St. Andrews and mostly any liberal arts institution will give a lot of emphasis to that personalized attention. So St. Andrews has about 1 academic to 12 students, so very similar to Huron in that sense, where in every sense there is a personal touch that's given. So whether it be careers where we have, 300 different university, companies coming to campus, whether it be in terms of support, we have a brilliant support system where they get back to students in about 24 hours. Whether it be, your class sizes where tutorials can be as small as, 6 people sitting with the professor. These are things that make St. Andrews unique, and I think we can only do it because we're a smaller size institution. And that obviously then leads to, what you see in terms of the reputation. So we are one of the oldest Scottish universities, and certainly one of the most reputed, and the 4-year flexible degree structure, whether you want to call it a liberal arts and science, whether you want to call it a flexible degree or just a Scottish model, that is quite unique to us. So I'm going to leave it there, Abhishek. I think I've taken my 5 minutes. But I think a lot will be clearer when we talk about
Definitely.
the questions.
I'm just waiting for you guys to finish with your 5-minute pitch and straight away dive into the questions, because there are questions coming like crazy. While we were talking, we suddenly jumped from 400 to 500 in the Zoom room. So Anju, over to you. A 5-minute pitch, and 5 means 5, Anju.
Hi, good morning, everyone. And thank you so much, Abhishek, for having us here. I'm quickly going to share my screen while I talk so that you have some visuals. Yeah, can you see the presentation?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So I think here I'm just going to talk about number one. I think somebody just asked, could you just give us the brief of what liberal education is all about? So I'm sure these students are very young and still exploring plenty of options along with their parents. So the biggest myth about liberal arts education, understood by everybody, most of them, is that it's got to do something with humanities or visual arts and program or social sciences. So that's not a fact, students. There are plenty of subjects which are offered within the liberal arts education. Now, the thing is about FLAME, it's a foundation of liberal arts and management education. That's the full form of FLAME actually. So it offers, while it offers a lot of subjects within the humanities, social sciences, we are also a management university. And this year is the first session where we are also offering BSc in computer sciences as we're expanding. And now that, you know, a lot of people have attended NEP sessions of Abhishek. And now when you're going to hear me out, it will probably, NEP will look like a FLAME brochure. I mean, we're doing that for a very, very long time. It's a multidisciplinary approach. And students are expected to learn through exploring different range. And like both my panelists here also mentioned, it depends a lot on the, I think, the delivery of the program, because the student and professor ratio, I think that's something which is very important when we are doing a liberal education, especially because it's not the run of the mill, you know, the conventional education that you're attending. This is completely based on your research. So a lot of hand holding is required from the professors when the students are learning. Also to keep you know, the learning journey as the students research. It's a completely research-based program. So while I'm sure you know, Abhishek will throw a lot of difficult questions as he's been scaring us all since morning, I'm quickly going to share 1 minute. Why is it not going forward? Yeah. So talking about the program that FLAME offers is, again, a very, very frequently asked question is, what is a degree? What degree do you get when you do a liberal arts education in India or anywhere? So students, you will get a regular degree of BA or BSc or BBA, depending on what the subjects you are looking at. So these are essentially the 5 degrees that the students get at FLAME as well. And I won't read out the subjects there, but some of the unique ones which are not offered in India especially is literary and cultural studies, public policies, and you know, environmental studies, probably design. I think in India, we're the only university which offers design as a minor subject. So going forward, you have a range of subjects which you study from social sciences. You have a range of subjects which you do from business and finance areas, from management perspective. Also, you know, the creative fields of theater, dance, and all of those. Now, when you're looking at a liberal education, the first year, what it looks like is that, you know, everybody has to do a foundation.
1 minute to go. So
whether you become a journalist, you know, a management student or XYZ, but you've got to have these competencies such as, you know, academic writing, critical reasoning, and so forth, so on and so forth. So there is, again, the focus and emphasis is on developing skill sets for students. And if I have to share what are the subjects, I think students, I'm not going to spend much time here because it's just a 5-minute slot I have. So we definitely get in touch with you to throw some more light on, you know, what are the subjects. But the interesting fact you must see is this. So students can pick from more than 280 combinations of their major and minor, which NEP says all the universities in India must follow, given the multidisciplinary approach that they're talking about. It actually, like I said, this looks like a brochure of a FLAME university, a marketing brochure rather, you know, where it talks about various subject combinations. So be it, you know, entrepreneurship, human resource and management, journalism, environmental studies, there is a plethora of subjects that you can explore. So Abhishek, how much time do I have?
Thank you so very much. If you can just put off the slideshow and we'll straight.
Sure, just a minute. If it allows me to, how do I do it?
You just have to stop the screen share.
Oh, sorry guys, you have to keep looking at us. It doesn't.
It is. Okay, perfect.
Thanks, Sagar. I didn't do it.
Super awesome. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these are 3 great universities from 3 different parts of the world. Anjali Anand Seth representing Huron at Western from Canada, Veer Anand representing St. Andrews, Scotland, and Anju Dioskar representing Flame University, Pune. All 3 of them are going to talk extensively about all the questions that you are asking And believe you me, I just ran through, and this is for you, Anjali, Veer, and Anju. I just ran, I'm on my mobile also right now, just flipping across various Facebook channels. And you'll be surprised to know 3,448 is the total count only on Facebook. And you've already climbed to 520 on the Zoom. That's the power of high school moms. Now, I will definitely want you to continuously answer some of the questions that will even come on the Facebook. And this is for the Facebook audience. Now I'm looking at you in the camera. So please be patient. We will definitely answer your question. My first question, which I want all three of you to answer one by one, starting with you, Anjali. There is a lot of confusion, though Anju tried to answer this, a lot of confusion around liberal education. Why liberal education is liberal is my question, right? And how is it different from any traditional university I used to study? Now, why I'm asking this question is, these are the parents who have been really bothered after the new education policy came out. They were taken by surprise because they were not understanding it. We at High School Moms even conducted multiple sessions to decode the new education policy for them. And parents, this is very, very important for you to understand that new education policy, though it is applicable in India, there are certain universities like Flame which were already following it. And some of you who are definitely looking at sending your kids abroad, and obviously with America coming down, with US coming down, and we started exploring options about Canada and Scotland, two of the most beautiful countries in the world, and I've personally visited these countries. It doesn't get better than that. And for some of those who are thinking that it's going to be super expensive, wait, we're going to tackle that kind of a question as well. We're going to put both Anjali and Veer onto the back foot and ask them how expensive it is. But before that, let's understand from the global perspective, from Anjali Anand Seth, how liberal education, Anjali, is different from a traditional education. Over to you, Anjali.
So my education has been in India, so I understand the Indian education scenario also very well. But just to kind of put it a little simply for all parents and students to understand, traditionally the national curriculum that is offered in India makes the students choose between three prominent streams: science, commerce, and humanities. You know, it was only when the international curriculum and international schools started setting up that students were actually exposed to interdisciplinary approach to education, where students could actually pick up courses from their interest rather than what they were streamlined into. Liberal arts education is basically that allows you to explore the wide breadth of subjects, that will contribute to your personal and professional aspects of your life. So earlier it was only about getting technical knowledge or hard skills as it was called. Today the conversation has kind of moved on to 21st century skills, which I generally essentially calls it as essential skills. Basically, you need to fuel the imagination of a student to drive innovation and prosperity. Gone are the days when people would stick to one job and retire from it. And or even like engineers would do their 5-year engineering degree and then decide to get some management skills by doing an MBA to gain business skills. But now with liberal education at an undergraduate level, you can actually do both within a 3-year or a 4-year period. Canada, it's all 4-year education. So you can study economics with computer science. You can study psychology with biology and get a degree in BSc psychology, even if you've been a humanities student all your life. So university is offering liberal arts education, provide students a very well-rounded skills, basically to navigate through a rapidly changing labor market, because situations are changing. So education needs to change along with that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does, Anjali, and thank you so very much. My question to Veer. Veer, UK is predominantly 3 years, man. You mentioned on your slide, it is a 4-year degree, right? Either my geography has gone for a toss, Veer, or your slide was wrong. Something is going wrong somewhere. Can you just correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes, yeah. So, like I was saying earlier, the United Kingdom actually has 4 different countries. You've got England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. I think England being sort of the dominant partner tends to dominate that space. And I think in India, especially, people use the term interchangeably. I've heard so many people say, yeah, England, UK, same thing. And that's not true. So, it's interesting because Harvard was actually formed after, places in England and Scotland had actually developed in terms of universities, and they decided to take the 4-year Scottish model rather than the 3-year English model. In India, obviously, we've inherited the 3-year model from England. And so, no, I was correct, and my slides were correct when we said, we follow a 4-year system. I have to say, we're not exactly a liberal arts curriculum. When students apply to St. Andrews, they do apply for a subject, but they do get the option to switch, and they do get the option to pick more subjects in their first few years. And so allowing that liberal approach. And so I think it's important students understand, even within the United Kingdom, you have different structures, and you should know what you can get and what you can't. So just to compare that with the traditional model in England is a 3-year model where you apply for one subject. That's the only subject that you study. You can't do anything else. If you don't like it, you're stuck with it. Do it for 3 years, or you repeat a year if you want to change your mind. But the Scottish model, being the 4-year model, is more flexible, is more broad, but it doesn't lose out on the depth of knowledge because you do actually do the subject for 4 years rather than 3 years. And in the final 2 years, you specialize within the subject as well. So it's a different degree structure that's more flexible, more liberal, that allows for students to widen their knowledge base rather than stick to a niche.
So this is very interesting. Both Anjali and Veer are saying that when we talk about liberal education, and parents, this is very important for you to listen. Please understand it clearly that whether it is Huron, Canada, or whether it is St. Andrews, Scotland, both of them are saying that if you want to study psychology with biology, it is possible. If you want to study psychology with economics, it is possible. If you want to study economics with computer science, it is possible. So what they are talking about is interdisciplinary approach. What they're talking about is that you do not no longer need to identify yourself as only a PCM student or a PCB student or a humanities student or a commerce student. Wow, super awesome. So I'm glad to know, Anjali, that a university in Canada is offering these kind of amazing combinations. Can you give me, before I go to Anju, can you give me a couple of your flagship courses at Huron? Why do people come to Huron? Like a couple of those like real phenomenal courses?
The most popular ones are management and organizational studies that we offer. So we call it management and organizational studies. We don't call it BCom or BBA. Reason being because the scope of the program is far broader and in-depth than just what traditionally a BCom or a BBA degree would offer. The others are psychology. So Huron psychology program is very unique because I think we are probably the only university in Canada which offers research from year 1 of undergrad. Wow. Right from the first year itself. And if a student is a research student, likelihood they will publish 6 research papers by the time they graduate from undergrad. We just recently had a student who moved from straight from psychology program into Harvard master's degree program. Even we were surprised. Let's just put it like that, because Harvard doesn't take everybody straight from undergrad. That is one. The other flagship programs are governance, leadership, and ethics. We are the only university in Canada which offers that very unique program. Then we also have political science, economics, and within these fields we have areas of specialization. So it's global studies, whole lot. So as you mentioned, you can actually combine subjects. I mean, I've heard students combining psychology with study of religion with criminology. Those kinds. Psychology with food science. They want to understand what is it about food that makes people behave the way they behave. So I think basically a lot of options are open. Like our first year students get over 100 courses to choose from. They're spoiled for choice primarily. So that's something.
Like wherever you went, my worry is, why didn't I know about all that? So ladies and gentlemen, you definitely need to come to a career counselor like me, because now I know about them, right? And B, you definitely need to go to their website and figure it out whether they are actually talking sense or they are just giving us some data. Because 100 combinations, Anjali, for God's sake, you really want me to believe that?
I know it's crazy because here we have students who, you know, say, I don't have enough choice. And now they come back and says, there is so much choice. I don't know what to do, what to take. So that's
All right. So to all the attendees out there, just one more time, let's shake the entire webinar Zoom panel. Give me a big A, and let me just keep on pouncing them with questions. Show them that you're enjoying the session. And Anjali, people are even writing A on the Facebook. I so wish I could have shown you that. We are there on the Zoom, streaming live on the Facebook. They are even writing A on the Facebook. This is super crazy. And look at the way the chat is going up. All right, thank you so very much, guys. Before we go to Anju, skip Veer for the time being. It's ladies' time. So we go to Anju. One small question, one small request that I want to make to all the three panelists out there. Anjali, Veer, Anju. We have a lot of parents who would want that if somebody like you or maybe somebody from your team, I understand you guys are senior people. Maybe somebody from your team can pick up a call and speak to a prospective candidate. Maybe the candidate is from grade 10. Maybe the candidate is for grade 11. Maybe the candidate is ripe for your university right now. I do not know. But what if the candidate is interested? Why do they need to struggle and go to various webinars? Why can't a university like you, I mean, for God's sake, I mean, Anjali, you are one of the oldest ones in Canada as a university. Veer, you are the oldest in Scotland. A university, and guys, this is an interesting fact, okay? This is an interesting fact. Veer, Prince Williams, right? And Kate, the royal couple of the UK, they were students at St. Andrews. Is that true?
Yes, it's true. In fact, that's how they met.
So that means that to all the kids out there, you should not go to St. Andrews only to study. You can definitely find your life partner there if the royal couple can, right? So you can definitely do that. Okay. Anju, my request to you, Veer, my request to you, Anjali, my request to you is, I'm gonna request, I'm gonna put a form. Sagar, if you can put a form in the chat box. And my request to all of you is, all three of you, will you be able to allocate somebody from your team to speak to some of these kids and tell them and talk to them? I know you guys are busy people. It is very difficult to get hold of you. But then for God's sake, you are at High School Moms and this is a community, not an educational company. I'm very sure that you will be able to do that much for us. We will try and, okay, so can I have a yes from all three of you? One by one.
Yes.
yes.
Anju?
Yes, I said yes.
Okay, super awesome. So guys, Sagar from my team will be putting a form into the chat box multiple times. Click on that form. If you really want to hear it from Huron, from St. Andrews or from Flame Pune, it will have a checkbox. You can definitely go out there and fill the form. And I will ensure that these guys or their teams reach out to you and give you the right information and also help you how to apply to these universities, because it is very simple people like you and me who actually end up going abroad even without being able to afford at times and make it big. So let your dreams fly. Don't clip your wings before you know the reality. Anju, question to you. 100 odd options. I'm not too sure. 200 options you showed to me on the screen that a child can take at Flame. My question is, and this is a question from the chat box. If I want to come and study computer science at Flame, do I need to have computer science in my high school? A very simple question. Anjali, I don't want any Flame marketing. I know you are not here for marketing, neither is Anjali, nor is Veer. We are here to solve real questions, right? So can a kid study computer science without computer science in high school?
Yes, yes. And also without probably math in 11th and 12th, you can still take computer sciences. I mean, where else these subjects would be very essential. And so students who are aspiring to study computer sciences can come and do computer sciences without having them study in the 11th and 12th. And I'll also share one very interesting example which happened very recently. So one of our, SIP students, that's a summer immersion program. This girl who comes in and she had a huge mental block of computer science and all those things. So they did a program because summer immersion program is just a week online and otherwise 2 weeks on campus program where you come and, actually experience what the university looks like and everything. And this girl, she did a small course and we had such a fantastic message coming to us after she finished that she didn't know this was computer science and this is how you can read, analyze data, and this is how interesting it was. So, I mean, it was very interesting to see that, she had some mind block about coding and stuff like that. But kids come and, join these. And that is the very idea, Abhishek, of liberal education, where I think both my panelist members have already been saying, there's a range of subject which is offered. Please understand the 280 combinations that we're giving. This is just not, for just a fancy thing. I mean, in the first year, you will be doing 10 courses in different subjects before you come and say, hey, I want to do majors in economics and I want to do literary and cultural studies, or I want to study public policy and international relations, or I want to do computer science and psychology. Or, I mean, there's so many combinations. I can't say them all. Then definitely that I hope that answers the question.
Thank you. I'm sorry to the panelists. I'll have to keep on barging in because we are already 45
No worries, please.
Session. And the beauty is that we are still holding on to about 560, 600. It's continuously fluctuating. So I have to ask a lot of questions. Please keep your answers to very specific so that we can cover a lot of questions. Anjali, Veer, I'll be coming back to you after this. Anjali, you told me a couple of very interesting things about Huron. And before I ask you a very academic question, and this time I'm going to take a question from Facebook. Sagar, my request to you is, a lot of people on Facebook are asking for the form. Can you please put the form even on the Facebook page and the Facebook group, Sagar?
I'll just do that.
Yeah, please put out the form. Ladies and gentlemen, listening to us on the Facebook, the form is coming your way in 2 minutes on the Facebook. And if it is still not visible to you, please do not worry. By the end of the day, there'll be an email sent out to you with the form. Go out there, fill it up. Please see what interests you. Is Canada interests you? Because it is an easy PR after studying in Canada. It's a beautiful country. Does Scotland interest you? A beautiful vacation country. What better than studying in a place where you're vacationing for 4 years? And now you can even work for 2 years after studying. That's UK. Or it is Pune, where Flame has made a phenomenal campus right inside the valley. So you tell us what you're interested in, and I'll hell ensure, even if I have to actually pull their hands, dial the number for them, and put them onto a call with you guys, they are definitely talking to you, or their team is talking to you. All right, so the form is coming your way. Anjali, Western is one of the, 1863. It's like old, right? I'm kind of confused. Your logo says Huron at Western, Anjali. Is it Huron? Because I know that Western is one of the finest universities in Canada.
Correct.
Right? So when I talk about Canada, let me honestly say, I talk about UBC, University of Toronto, maybe Waterloo, and then I definitely talk about Western. When I know about Huron, I know it is one of the finest schools. I am confused. Are you a college? Are you a university? Are you a university inside a university? So please tell me that.
Okay, so it's complicated. Let me begin by this, that Canada has all public institutions. So there are really no bad choices. I can't say my university is better than the other. There are things that every institution offers, which is good for you or bad for you, or maybe that's not something that you're looking for. So we always say, choose what is the right fit for you. What is it that you are asking out of university education, and choose that. The other thing is that there are some universities which are primarily undergraduate universities and specializing in a certain field. And then there are comprehensive universities. So comprehensive universities are those which are offering right from undergrad all the way to PhD. Okay. Ranking is a separate webinar altogether. If we start about the rankings of schools abroad, that everybody asks for. So yes, the institutions that you name are very good institutions. I don't deny that. What works well within Huron and Western is the unique affiliation that we have. So Huron is actually older than Western University. We were established in 1863, while Western was established 15 years later. Started as a primarily STEM-oriented research university, but then extended to the other programs also. And it is one of the largest research university. So Huron and Western, same campus. We are just about 50-meter walk. We are offering the same degree. You can, when you apply to Western University, you have to choose which campus you want to study at. So if you're choosing Huron, primarily because you're focused on business and liberal arts, all facilities and events are shared. 200 plus student clubs, varsity team, everything is shared. The degree that you get is from Western University. As a Huron student, you can pick up 40% of your courses from Western. So basically everything is the same. You're just picking a different campus to study.
And you have a chance of studying at Harvard. That's what you said.
Yes. So Huron advantages are a lot. One, we intentionally keep the class sizes small, unlike our Western campus, which is called the main campus. Their class sizes could range from 200, can even go above 1,000 students each class. We intentionally keep class sizes to not more than 30, 35. I don't admit more than 1,100 to 1,300 students from across the globe. Then we are business and liberal arts focused, of course. Plus, while our admission process remains the same, the scholarships that we offer are very huge scholarships that we offer. So if you're interested in a smaller class size, personalized support systems, guaranteed paid internship, out of the Western University, you should choose Huron campus, because we are like a small university in a bigger university. So you have all facilities at Western, but you're still unique to Huron. So Huron students can enjoy Western facilities, but Western students can't enjoy Huron facilities.
Wow.
So,
wow. Thank you so very much, Anjali. I had the pleasure of visiting the campus. And I'm telling you, if given an opportunity, my son is definitely going to Huron.
I will take your word for it, and I'll catch you after a couple of years if he doesn't.
Do that. But you have to ensure that my son is definitely a scholarship material. So let me catch you there before we go on to Veer.
Yeah.
Right? And Veer, now 2 questions back to back coming to you, and same is with you, Anju. Are there any scholarships for a person like me, Anjali, and this is for the benefit of all the parents listening to me on Zoom, on various Facebook pages, 550 plus wavering on the Zoom, and almost like 3,000 odd on the Facebook. Sagar, give me the correct figure when you can. I have a name called Gupta written end of my name. It's a Baniya. The first thing I want to know is, what is about scholarships if I come to Huron? How can I apply? Do you even have scholarships, or do you not have scholarships? How do you go about doing it?
So each university in Canada offers different scholarships. Their scholarships could vary from whichever university you apply to. Huron actually offers very good scholarships. So our scholarship ranges from 4,000 Canadian dollars over 4 years. So basically, essentially 1,000 every year, goes up $60,000 over 4 years, 15,000 per year. And you don't even have to submit an added application. It is given just on the basis of your grade 10 and your grade 12 marks. It's an automatic and it's renewable every year. So every year you can get up to 15,000 Canadian dollars as scholarship. And the highest that we have is our International Presidential Scholarship, which is what, sorry?
Which is 100,000, right?
100,000.
That's what you're committing to my son. See?
But that requires a separate application, and it's very competitive. We give only 10 around the globe. And I'm very proud to say this, Abhishek, that every year, close to about 3 or 4 students from India are getting it. Out of 10, at least 3 students are getting it for consecutively past 2 years. They've been getting it.
Actually, I'm submitting that application, coming to your place, delivering it by hand, even if it is online. The presidential scholarship is coming to my son. You please make note of it.
Yeah, so we don't have an India office, okay? So you'll have to write to me.
All right. Okay, we 2 questions back to back. Really like the fact that, and you know that the royal couple got to know each other at St. Andrews. St. Andrews being the oldest university in Canada. I was going through some of the rankings, Veer, and this is phenomenal, right? This is phenomenal. Like, tell me, what are the kind of rankings you're talking about?
Yeah, thanks, Abhishek. Well, you know, there's majorly 3 major domestic rankings in the United Kingdom. You've got the Guardian, the Complete University Guide, and then the Times and Sunday Times. We've consistently ranked number 3 after Oxford and Cambridge in all of them. But this particular year was very special for us because we were one of the first universities to actually break the Oxford-Cambridge sort of, they had that little monopoly over the first 2 kind of spots. And the Guardian 2020 actually ranked us ahead of Oxford this year. So it's a great achievement for us. So, you know, that's about the domestic rankings that we talk about. A very, you know, lastly, I always refer to one other kind of list, which is called the National Student Survey, because this is actually students filling up this survey. It's government endorsed after they graduate. So, you know, you don't have to please your teachers anymore. You can say what you like. And normally the perception is if you're in a smaller town, you're not in a city, what do you do? You know, what's your student experience like? And we've been number 1 in the UK, not just for the last few years, but
all right, I think we lost
10 out of the last 13 years. So obviously, you know, that again busts the myth that, yeah. So I was just saying, you know, it's important also from a student perspective to look at these kind of surveys just to know exactly what's happening in the university. If it's not just rankings, but what the students are also saying.
Absolutely. And parents, this is very, very important for you to understand. You know, when people come to me and you guys come to me, I mean, every year, almost 2,000 parents come to me, 2,500 parents come to me, talking to me. And every time I tell this to parents, that we need to start getting innovative with our choice of colleges and universities. Yep. We really need to start getting innovative. Now, the worry is that we get so much, you know, influenced by the Oxford and the Cambridge of the world that we fail to realize that not everybody will get into Oxford and Cambridge, but there is something called St. Andrews, which is number 3 in Scotland.
No, it's number 1 in Scotland, number 3 in the UK.
Number 1 in Scotland, the oldest university, pardon me, the oldest university in Scotland, and number 3 in UK, right after Oxford and Cambridge. And you should definitely look at exploring this option. Another question, Veer, and quick answer.
Yeah.
What about scholarships and the fees?
Yeah, so we have scholarships that range from £2,000 going up to a fully funded £25,000 scholarship, and many different ranges in between. You know, like you said, unfortunately, I think due to the reputation and the size of the university, we're in the top 4 most competitive to get into. So our grade boundaries are quite high. So you need to apply for these scholarships. They don't automatically come to students. As far as the tuition fee is concerned, it's just under £24,000 for a year is what you're looking at. So that's the cost involved.
Wonderful. And before I go to Anju, one last question. The new policy allows the student to stay back in UK for 2 years and for the post-study visa, right?
Yeah, so it's effectively that. It's called the graduate route. But after you finish your education, you can work without having to get the sponsorship for up to 2 years, which really opens up a lot of other companies to students, which maybe under the current scholarship model, they won't be able to gain this sponsorship under. So it's quite beneficial. Again, the UK did without it, and now they've brought it back. So it's 2 years now.
Parents out there, start thinking Scotland, start thinking Canada, start thinking India. maybe you need to think way beyond US, because US is on its way down and there are better opportunities elsewhere. Anju, 2 questions to you back to back. Number 1, for the students who are interested in India, Anju, when are your applications opening up for next year? And when are the decisions expected? You are on mute, Anju. If you can quickly unmute yourself and answer that.
Yes, yeah. So essentially the students who are currently in grade 12 can start applying to us September last week onward. Our application portal is open. And then we have the first early cycle where we, after the complete process of the admission, we start offering the admissions in December, while they have to submit their grade 12 results post March or June, depending on which board they're studying.
Okay. And are there, and this is phenomenal, 180 people have already filled in that form that we had given to you. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much, parents, for filling out that form. And this is super phenomenal. This helps us to qualify the data. This helps us telling the university which university should reach out to you. So still, the form is there in the chat. Couple of quick announcements before I take another question with Anju. One, at the end of the show today, we will declare one lucky winner who will take away a Google Home Mini. So stay till the end. Do not drop out. One of you is definitely taking and listening to music couple of days down the line once the Google Home Mini reaches your home. So that's important. Number 2, there is an amazing webinar planned with yet another Indian university, Kriya, on 23rd of this month. The link is there in the chat right now. Sagar, if the link can come a couple of times for the next webinar, be there, register. It is yet another moment where you can learn about one more university, and that's Kriya University. Today you're getting to know about Flame. Next week you're getting to know about Kriya. It doesn't get better than High School Moms. So please do fill in the form. Wait till the end for the Google Home Mini, and please do register for the Kriya event, which is happening on 23rd. Anju, second last question to you, and thereafter we will have one quick rapid fire round, right? So my question to you is, Anju, what about scholarships? Huron is offering scholarships to the deserving ones. Veer said he definitely can offer scholarships with a different application altogether, but definitely can offer. What about you, Anju? Does Flame offers any merit scholarships?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think any education institute who kind of focuses and appreciates talent will offer scholarship, and Flame does that too. Here at Flame, it's even, it's unique, like, if somebody's applied for admission and you've gotten through your process and everything, and should you qualify for the scholarship requirements, you automatically will be offered a scholarship. The college will tell you that, hey, you've got a scholarship. So around 25% of our students hold merit scholarship. Now there are 2 advantages in this case. Number 1, obviously you saving your money, your parents' money, which can be probably used for your future education or your own personal holidays or whatever. The second thing is, I think you automatically come in an environment where the students, the peer group is also very academically, motivated. So your learning, and I think the learning journey becomes even more fruitful when you're surrounded by also students who are very, inspired or self-motivated. So yes, we do offer scholarship. This is the merit scholarship. The second one is need-based scholarship, where we do have students who come from, a background where the parents may not be able to afford a university like us. So they can apply for a need-based scholarship as well.
Wow. 1 year into the session, still holding on to 450 plus in the Zoom room, still holding on to about 800 plus on the Facebook. It doesn't get better than High School Moms. Thank you, parents, for listening to us. You do not go away, because I have something really interesting, like I said, at the end of the show for you, a Google Home Mini to take away. Now, Anjali, this is a question from Sakshi from Indore. And this is targeted at you. You said about, you talked about so many combinations.
Yeah.
Help me understand, Anjali. The question says, can I study psychology with biology? So answer to that is a yes, you said that, right? But what will the degree be called then? Will the degree be in, so what do I say? Bachelors of Sciences in Psychology with biology. What will be there in the degree is what she's asking.
So the degree is as per your major. If you're doing psychology as your major, the degree will say that you've done your major in psychology. If you take biology with it, then it becomes a BSc psychology. If you do not take biology and you do other courses, then it is a BA psychology. So contrary to a lot of students who think that BSc psychology is only for students coming from science streams, that's not the case. It's the courses, the core courses of psychology will not change. It's the courses that you're taking around it will change. So you can take biology as a minor along with psychology, or you can take it as a double major as biology.
Okay,
Your
so
degree.
Sorry to cut you short, Anjali. You have a major, minor, I'm trying to make it simple for the parents, and that's why wherever it's getting technical, I'm barging in. With folded hands, you guys have to really pardon me for doing that, because this is a very different forum than you have been used to, right? Here we are talking directly to the mothers and the students, right? So trying to make it simple. So you are trying to say there is a major, minor possibility and a dual major possibility. Is that correct?
Yes. So in Indian terms, if I can say, like I did political science honors. Political science was my major subject. And then I took a lot of subsidiary subjects, economics, etc. Let's just say that those subsidiary subjects are what we call as minors and electives abroad. Okay. But if I have done honors, that means political science is my main subject in which I have done the maximum number of courses. This is what, in simple language, is major in Canada. And I think that's the same way, Veer can correct me if I'm wrong, that's the same way in most of the other institutions also abroad. You have to choose one subject you want to specialize in, that becomes your major. And then of course the minor. You can do it as a double major also, just that your elective courses will become less and you get a dual degree within 4 years.
Wow, dual degree within 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. What better than that? If your child is employable at multiple areas, just within those 4 years, not in one industry, not in two, maybe many, because when you combine two subjects, 1 + 1 becomes 11. And I'll give you a small example for all the parents listening to me. You combine psychology with economics at Huron, Canada, you can get into behavioral economics, you can get into consumer behavior, you can get into market research. You combine psychology with computer science, you can get into artificial intelligence. You combine psychology with business management, you can get into HR, you can get into organizational behavior. You study pure psychology, you can become a career counselor like me. Imagine, just by combining some subjects, what amazing opportunities can emerge at Huron, Canada. And definitely, though Anjali is shying away from it, she never said it, let me tell you, Canada offers a good PR option. So if you go to Huron, you can definitely stay back there in Canada. Coming to you, Veer. Coming to you. I was researching about your, through your website, and I have, over the years, I have personally, that I'm a career coach. Over the years, personally, I've guided several students to St. Andrews. I love one program that you offer with no other university offers easily. And this is the future career. So all those people who are writing questions to ask me about careers, I am telling you one future career right away, and that is possible at St. Andrews, Scotland. It's called Bachelors in Sustainable Development. So sustainability, Veer, is the field for the future. You know it, I know it. Most of the construction companies in India are going very green, are going into very sustainable way of construction. We are talking about smart cities, which is just not about tech. It is also about a lot of green, a lot of sustainability, a lot of water conservation, right? So please tell me a little bit about what is this Bachelors in Sustainable Development, and why is it that only St. Andrews offers it and not very many universities are offering it in Scotland? And before that, Veer, I have a question from, this is very important. So you have another one coming up. Rimjim, you are there on Facebook, Rimjim Tiku. Please stay there, beta. I loved your question and we will ask Veer. That will definitely put him onto the back foot. It's a personal question to Veer. Rimjim wants to ask. Okay, so first you answer my question and then we take Rimjim's question.
Thanks, Abhishek. Just scared me before my answer, but so you know, sustainability. Obviously, everyone's just associates renewable energy and things like that with sustainability, but it's actually a much larger topic than that. It covers things like climate change. It's interdisciplinary, so it's got aspects of economics. It's got aspects of management. It's got aspects of even international relations, and so on. So it again brings together a lot of different aspects. The world today is dealing with these problems. So a lot of universities were offering these kind of courses at a master's level. We actually developed, it's our youngest department that came out of sort of the School of Geography and the Earth Sciences. That's now its own school of sustainable development. It's also very interesting because it has a lot of joint degree options. So we were talking about majors and minors. We do a joint degree, and it does. It's a very popular subject that students like to take up because I think in today's world, it's important to have some knowledge of sustainability, whether you want to work for a company where CSR becomes important, whether you want to work for in energy, whether you want to just tackle different issues from different viewpoints and do it in a sustainable manner. Today someone running a company needs to know how to do it in a sustainable manner. So it's something that is a part of everyone's life, whether you want to go down climate change, whether you want to go down renewable energy, whether you want to go down CSR, corporate responsibility. It's a part of all of our lives, and we've seen this become one of our most popular courses in the first few years.
Wow. Veer, I'm so happy to have Anjali, you and Anju onto the panel today. It's very rare that you're holding on to 450 people 1 hour and 15 minutes into the show. You are holding on, which speaks volumes. And I'm just talking about Zoom right now. Imagine the reach you guys are having on Facebook. And even on Facebook right now, we are still way above 1700. We are in the late 1700s, 1787 to be exact, on a Sunday, right? And the beauty is that while you and me are talking about your university and the courses, we are definitely giving a lot of valuable information to the kids. That sustainability is the field for the future. One of the most successful careers will be made in sustainability. Veer, one question that I have, if you can answer it to me right away, if you can. What are the requirements to get into a program like Bachelor's in Sustainable Development? Do I definitely have to be a science student, is it?
No, you don't. So the way we work is there's some subjects that have prerequisites. So this tends to be your natural sciences, your chemistry, biology, physics, math, computer science. But apart from that, a lot of our other subjects don't have prerequisites. It's quite standard for the Indian curriculum. So the CBSE, ISC, or any regional curriculums that we have, we're looking for a 90% overall. And then some subjects that have prerequisites, we'll be looking at 90 and above in those particular subjects as well. So sustainable development, we don't have any subject specific requirements, but yes, we would look for that 90% overall.
Wow. So parents, even if your child has not studied sciences, St. Andrews it is in Scotland, where they will not bother about what your child has studied, and the child can still be into sustainability, which is a future career. The only thing is ensure that the child gets good marks and is able to make it to St. Andrews, Scotland, the oldest university in Scotland. Coming to you, Anju, and after that, one more last round with Anjali, Veer and Anju, and then we will call it a day. And till that time, please sit back. A Google Home Mini is coming your way. A great webinar is planned on 23rd of this month, which is next weekend on Sunday with Kriya University. You do not want to miss that. And there is a Google form circulated in the chat and on the Facebook, which can allow you to talk to these universities in person. So do fill in, and we will ensure and request these universities to come and touch base with you. Before I go to Anju, Veer, this is a very personal question. Rimjim Tikku is asking, I am a 10th grade student, sir. And my question is, I'm a 10th grade student and my question is to Veer, sir. When you were new in Scotland, how was the experience adapting to their culture? And was it easy socializing with people there?
Great question, because I think personally, and I think, the other two panelists will agree with me, university is not just about the academics. In fact, some of my best moments at university have been outside of the classroom. It's about meeting new people. It's about, learning different cultures. It's about engaging with societies and taking leadership roles. So that's a big part of your student experience. So good question. Personally, St. Andrews is a very friendly environment because it's not somewhere where people actually stay. Students come from the outside and everyone's in the same boat. So everyone is very friendly, trying to meet others and make new friends and so on. And that's likely to be the case in most universities. I personally didn't have a problem. In my second year, I lived in a house where the 4 other housemates were all from different continents. So I was from India, obviously representing Asia. I had someone from Scotland. There was someone from the US in California. There was a third one who came from Norway. So, we were all in kind of different parts of the world. And that's truly unique, So when you're talking about almost 40-45% of our students coming from other parts of the world, it's a very diverse environment and there's a lot to learn from. So I think when you do come into a new country, you obviously have to be open. If you're going to stick to just your room and meeting your few friends from India, then obviously you're going to face a problem because you won't be able to integrate into the university. So I encourage everyone, especially in their first few weeks when the university is organizing events and freshers week and all that stuff, go out, meet new people. Everyone's in the same situation. Everyone's lost their school friends coming here and they all want to make new friends. So I think it opens you up a lot more. I think it makes you aware of different things, the way different people from around the world look at the same ideas and topics, and that really broadens your perspective. So yes, the Scottish accent was difficult at first, but then that's learning as well. But then so is the American accent and so is the English accent. So, and I'm sure for them it was like, the Indian accent was something they had to get used to. So it's part of the global experience. It's part of learning new things and integrating into a globalized world that we live in. So that's a reality we all have to face.
So agree, Veer. I generally keep on saying that if you want a person on your left to be a French and on your right to be a German, and that's where you want to study your management, engineering, data science, economics, psychology, or computer science, there is no other way but to go abroad and study. But for all those who want to stay back in India, we have Anju Dioskar from Flame. And Flame is one of the finest universities, and all of you know that I am a big fan of Flame, much above the other universities, simply because I want my kid to study in a place where he not only studies but experiences life, learns new things, and that's the only reason I put Flame right up there in the Indian scenario. Anju, my question to you is, and this is important, when you talk about so many specializations, there is one course which stands out for me as a career coach, which I definitely want every child to do. Now, whether that child is in psychology, or whether the child is in biology, or whether the child is in economics, or whether the child is in mathematics or physics or chemistry, it does not matter. Given an opportunity, if I was the education minister of this country, the first thing I would have taught to children is communication skills, period. So any course, you would not be able to graduate till the time you are able to communicate well. You are not graduating with a degree because, like I said, and parents, you will agree with me, अगर आपका बच्चा बोल लेगा तो बेच लेगा और बेच लेगा तो भूखा तो नहीं मरेगा. And I'm being very clear, very candid. So talking is important in this global world. Anju, do you have a program in communication skills? How does it function? Quickly, you have 45 seconds, Anju.
Oh, of course. So Flame does offer a program in communication and business and communication to be specific. And I think besides that, I think the few unique things about thing is that even if you go to study some other major subject, it could be mathematics or computer science or anything else, psychology, then also you do certain programs in your first year, which focuses on your public speaking, your academic writing, creative writing, and so many other things. So yes, communication is very important because like all of you are saying, it's not, these kind of education platforms are not just for getting students ready for a job. I mean, increase their employability. I think it's to increase their earnability factor, which means that they must have some of these skills. And yes, Flame does offer a program as well.
Wow. So there is a program in communication skills at Flame, and you can study it along with psychology or economics or computer science or business management. Go out there and search the internet. Flame it is for you. Anjali, I have a couple of questions. This time I'm taking it from Facebook. This is for the Facebook audience. You do not come to High School Moms event only for the Zoom, Anjali. You come in for the you come actually for the Facebook. Zoom is only for making 3 of you feel that yes, there is somebody on Zoom, right? Our reach is far bigger on Facebook. So taking a couple of questions from Facebook quickly. Nisha Bora Kapoor says, if I would want to study psychology plus biology, is it okay that I have humanities? You did talk about it. Can you just reiterate once more for the audience, please?
Yes. So it's okay if you have humanities. It's okay if you have no math in grade 11 and 12. It's okay if you're not a science student. And it's okay if you're a science student without biology also. So any program, any stream that you come from is open to you. If you're wanting biology, so first year are more foundation year courses where we understand your level of understanding of a subject, and then we put you in a class where it builds your profile to pick up higher level university courses. So there are students who've studied commerce and they want to do management, or there are students who are coming from humanities and they want to do a BBA program or a MOS program as we call it without mathematics, or they've not studied economics at all within that subject. So it's fine. We will look at your profile of grade 11 and 12 and understand that you've not taken that subject, and then we'll put you in an introductory class, and then from there you can pick up courses. In fact, interestingly, I want to add, we give students 2 weeks time to decide whether they want to do the course or not. So you can attend classes as you like. You can add or drop courses without really your money going away. In fact, even if you started with psychology and you suddenly realize your love for political science later, you can change the subject even after first year is completed, and you will not have to start the first year again. You know, you can, from second year onwards, you can start taking subjects. So whole lot of combinations. I think the best thing to do is to get in touch with the university representative that you're interested to apply to and understand it more at a personal level, because it's case by case scenario. But you do not require to have a subject, as Anju had mentioned earlier, to study that subject at university.
All right. So now one question which is open to all 3 of you. If anybody thinks it applies to your university, you're more than welcome to jump in. Samit Chaudhary from the Facebook is saying, which of the 3 universities that we are speaking to right now can offer a course either in culinary arts or interior designing?
So I'll take that first. So any course that Huron offers can be combined with culinary arts, which is offered at another campus called Brescia campus, which specializes in food and nutrition. They can take that course as a major, double major, or as a minor, can be done. Design per se is not offered as an undergraduate degree. Most of the students will do any particular first undergraduate degree course and then get into doing a postgrad diploma in design. In fact, one of the Huron alumni is has a huge luxury design, interior design space in Toronto. Ali Budd is her name. And she's a phenomenal name in Canada as far as interior designing or design studios is concerned. So that is something that students in Canada take it at the postgrad level where they specialize in that subject.
So Huron offers, Samir, if you're listening, Huron offers a course. Any course can combine with culinary arts on their other campus. And in designing per se is not available, but you can definitely graduate with a diploma in designing, like Anjali Anand said. Anyone of you wants to take it up again?
So at Flame, we do not offer the culinary art program, but yes, we are the only university which offers design as in minor. And what we do have students, we have students who've done taken these courses and have gone into interior designing per se post this. There a lot of other aspects will come into play, your internships, what you're doing, and your other projects that you're submitting. So it does give them the competency, and they can get a degree where they will minor in design, and they could major in any other 20, 25 other offerings that we have.
Right. Veer, any programs related to designing?
No, Abhishek, unfortunately not. We don't do a lot of the vocational skill-based courses, so we won't have an offer for these. But there's other very good universities in Scotland that would specialize in these particular areas. So I would certainly look at those.
Okay. One question that I have from the FB, again, Facebook, is that, let's say we talk about a lot of future careers, right? We talk about AI, we talk about data science, we talk about cyber security. Which university out of all three of you would offer a great computer science program? And I know this is, you would want to say that we do, but with respect to other specializations that you offer, so do you have a good computer science program at St. Andrews? If you want to take it up first.
Yes, we do. In fact, it's one of our most popular departments, and it's one of the highest ranked in the UK for computer science. So we certainly do. I would also encourage students, don't just go by the title. There's a difference between computer engineering, and there's a difference between computer science. There's a difference between data science. There's a difference between that and gaming and design. So, just because it has the term computer attached to it doesn't mean it's all the same thing. They can be very different degrees, and they teach students very differently. So we have probably right now the best computer science department in the UK, teaching subjects like artificial intelligence, data science, software, coding, and things like that. But it's not a computer engineering program, so it's computer science, and for that we certainly are one of the strongest. But it's also one of our most popular subjects, not just undergrad but also postgrad.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much, everybody. And just one last 30 seconds, one line from each one of you for all the audience, and then after that you can leave and I'll engage with my people. This is my community, my folks. They understand me really well. So one last 30 seconds to each one of you. Why should the student, I know it, I am a career coach. I know that Huron, Canada is one of the universities I definitely want my son to go to. If I would have been in love with Scotland, Veer Anand, like I send a lot of students to your university, I would need to have another son because I've already committed one son to Huron. Right? Or maybe
I was going to say, you seem to have committed a son to all three of us.
I have a daughter now. All right. And if anybody wants to go and do liberal education in India, it's Flame. I understand because I bring the best of the universities to speak to high school moms. Give me your 30 seconds why a child or a parent should look at you. Anjali, with you first.
Okay, I'll just put it very simply. Huron is like a second home. All right. It's a huge commitment to move from India and going abroad. I understand you're all, as parents, are worried about your children. Believe me, we will do the hand holding for that full 1 year. We go pick up students from the airport at Toronto. We call international students 1 week in advance. We help them settle. You will find our university president actually standing at the gates of residence to help students get in and settle down. That's the kind of commitment we have. And it's, I know every single student who goes from India by their name. You're not a student number for us. You're not just that one person who's adding another mark, but you're a person to us. We like to know about you and ensure the fact that you achieve not just personal success, but professional success also. So if you think that's a university for you, apply to Huron.
That is Anjali Anand Seth, a very dear friend, a phenomenal educationalist, somebody who has amazing years of experience in the field of education, and somebody who can be a real good brand ambassador for Education Canada. Thank you so very much, Anjali Anand Seth. From my side, you're free to go. I understand that you have another meeting to catch up. Thank you so very much. And I look forward to engage with you over the phone in the evening.
Thank you so much. It was an excellent webinar, and thank you, panelists. It was a great engagement, and thank you all parents and students. You can catch up with me. I've given my email ID, but of course you can talk to Abhishek and catch up. Sorry, I have another meeting at 1. I really need
No worries.
to
Thank
do.
you so very much,
Thank
Anju.
you,
And
everybody.
I will also let Veer and Anju go after they are done. So I look forward to talk to you in the evening. Anjali, you are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. See you. Bye.
Veer, you know, you and me have been talking over the years. You know my affinity towards St. Andrews. Your 30 seconds. I don't want to tell people to come to St. Andrews. Let the St. Andrews tell people what kind of a student do you want and why should they look up to St. Andrews?
Okay, so I think 5 points why you should come, and then I'll tell you about who we want. Reputation, safety, degree structure, tradition, history, and a personal approach. Those are the 5 things that I would say. And the kind of student that we look for is someone who's obviously academically bright, but also is not someone who's just going to be sitting in the classroom. We want our students to engage outside the classroom, take up leadership roles, go do their internships, engage with the community, and someone who does that will be a great fit for us.
Wow, wonderful. And Veer, it is very important for this still 400 of them, 1.5 hours into the webinar, still 400 of them are hanging only in the Zoom. It is very important for them to understand, I'm forgetting the name, Veer, the senior most anchor at NewsX.
Yes, yeah. So, we were talking, and in an Indian context, if any of you watch NewsX, it's one of the top 3 or 4 news channels in India. You'll see someone called Uday Pratap Singh. So he did his.
Pratap Singh is St.
Yeah.
Prince
So he's one of our young alumnus. He graduated, I think, in 2010 or 11. So, he's really achieved a lot in the last, less than a decade. He's really risen. He's the youngest kind of in his position.
What did he study, Veer? What did he study? Is he a journalism kid? What did he study?
No, he didn't. So we don't actually do a degree in journalism, but he did international relations and management, I think, or economics, if I'm not wrong. So again, he's you don't have to, do journalism to get into journalism, as long as you have the skills, as long as you have, the aptitude for it, and he actually started the St. Andrews radio. So we've got our own student-led radio, and he was one of the first founding
to do something like
guys.
That is
Yep. So that's how he got into it.
Thank you so much, Veer. Over to you, Anju. You know that I keep on visiting Flame Campus. That is possibly one of the only universities in the country where I keep on going, and I love visiting your campus. You have been with each other since long. I know you are new to Flame. In that way, I am older to Flame because I personally have visited Flame much more times even before. You know that I really respect Flame as a university simply because the kind of academics that you drive, simply because the kind of infrastructure that you have, the kind of experience a child gets. It's a truly international experience inside our country, and that too in the beautiful city of Pune. I understand it. Your 30 seconds, Anju, why you think somebody should come to Flame.
So I think, while there is a list of things that one looks for in a university, and the list of things that the university looks for in a student, which I think all the other panelists have spoken about, Flame is pretty much on the same line where, we're looking at academically motivated students. One thing I would say is, I think to actually experience that, you have to come and visit the campus whenever we open. And I think the happiness quotient of the students, the community that we have, it is super high. I think the students they love it. They own the place. And the programs you offer, the hand-holding of the professors, we have the student-professor ratio as best internationally recognized, 1:10. I mean, this is something which you don't find in India anywhere. I mean, there's nobody who talks about it as well. The faculty is all like 80% of them are PhDs from overseas. So yes, it is truly an international experience, and in India, in a beautiful valley, like my friend says, in Pune. So yeah, that's the major reason one should join. And just for your information, my son joined the university first. I followed him. So I walked the talk. And
I'm aware that you are a parent.
100 reasons I can say, too little time to say all of those.
So, ladies and gentlemen, these are two people. One that you keep on listening to, Abhishek Gupta, who has been at Flame multiple times. Believe you me when I say that if you are looking at India, it has to be Flame. If you are looking at Canada, you definitely cannot avoid Huron. And if you are looking at Scotland, you cannot avoid St. Andrews. That's me saying, but that's Anju, who has been a Flame parent, vouching for Flame. Doesn't get better than that. That's Veer Anand, who has been at St. Andrews as a student and vouching for St. Andrews. What better than that when a student becomes the brand ambassador? Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Thank you, Veer, for joining us. Thank you, Anju, for joining us. The award goes to, the award for the best question goes to, I'm just opening Sagar's chat, just hold on, and then I'll let both these panelists go. The award goes to Himadri Saxena. Himadri, you win the award. Himadri Saxena from Ludhiana. The award goes to Himadri Saxena for winning a Google Home Mini. Thank you so very much for your question, Himadri, and I'll definitely answer your question or get the university answer your question because we could not take it up, but that's a beautiful question that you've asked. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Veer, for taking out time and being here. Thank you, Anju, for taking out time. And
thanks, Abhishek. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Veer. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Attendees, please be there next weekend on 23rd and watch the talk with Kriya University. Please fill out the form, Google form given out to you. And we will ensure that Veer, Anjali, and Anju reaches out to you. Thank you so very much for joining in. Stay home, stay safe. Enjoy the Sunday, whatever is left. And I look forward to engage with you next weekend on 23rd. Sagar, if you can put in both the Google form and the registration. So first, the webinar registration for next weekend, back to back in the chat. Please be there. This time you have heard Flame. Next time you will hear Kriya, two of the finest liberal education universities in India. Flame and Kriya for you, brought to you by Abhishek Gupta, only and only on High School Moms. Please do that. And on this Friday, I'm also bringing on huge request. I'm also bringing Ashoka, but this Friday I'm bringing Ashoka on Facebook Live at 10 p.m. in the night on HSM Talks on the Facebook group and Facebook page. You can definitely be there. Listen to Ashoka. Sunday you can listen to Kriya. Today you heard Flame. I look forward to keep on engaging with you. Thank you. Stay home, stay blessed. Jai Hind.